My earliest memory, probably drinking beer with my dad when I was probably 3 years old. My mother was very abusive and neglectful, and my father was also abusive to my mother. When they got a divorce, I was 6 years old. I was taken away from my mom for her throwing me into a wall and knocking me out and rolling me up in a blanket and sheets, thinking that I was dead, and put me underneath the bed and left me there for 2 days. I went from a group home to foster care, then to my grandparents, back to another foster care, and back to my grandparents. So at age 13 years old, I came out to my grandparents. My grandmother told me that, that's against our religion. You can't be gay, basically. In 14, they kicked me out, and I became homeless. At 14, I met Denise. She became my foster mother.
I think he was wanting a permanent home and to feel like part of a family, but his behaviors were so challenging because he didn't trust anyone. Perpich was one of the miracles that happened. Dance was his primary area of interest. He did a fantastic job. They were very creative and really worked with him as well and offered special ed support.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind. Denise means to me, I'm grateful for her. If it wasn't for her, I would probably not be sitting in this chair right now.
After he left foster care and was independent is when he really started experimenting with drugs and alcohol and some more other risky behaviors.
Trying to cover up the trauma and the shame and the regret, the self-hating kind of feelings that I had. Dangerous to the point where I was doing things that were harmful to my body. Smoking meth, having unprotected sex with people that I had no clue who they were. About 3 years ago, I was homeless. Instead of using drugs and going to people's houses, I, had to figure out something. This would be my third lease and the longest stable housing that I've ever had. Where would I be without Claire housing? I don't even want to think about that. I would probably be dead, absolutely. A place to call home is so key to people's recovery. And when you're homeless, you're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, it's very hard to be healthy. And I owe it to Claire Housing because they gave me a home to let me, become more healthy and create, the life that I've always wanted. Good morning, Alex. I go every single morning at 10 o'clock to cross the alley at Claire Housing, and I take my meds. They just put a tray in front of me. It's like more of a accountability at that point for me. When the virus came and then the riots came, it was very hard. Claire Housing actually arranged for Metro Transit to pick up groceries at Aliveness Project. Without them, I would be hungry multiple days since the virus and since the protest. They're super quick to react to the shortcomings in our society today, which happen to be, how do we get our clients fed, and how do we make sure that they stay healthy, and how do we make sure that they stay connected. Claire Housing gave me a home to create restructure and routine that has let me become the best that I can be every single day, every moment, and all because of Claire Housing, because they gave me a home that I can become more healthy because I want to be the best that I can be.